Hello everybody, Coach Bree over here. Today we're going to take you through my monthly acupuncture recovery session. We're going to go over some trigger point techniques with my acupuncturist Beth.
I've been an acupuncturist for a little over 14 years and I specialize in pain management and working with athletes in general. So the first thing I do before I start any needling is I do a little bit of Chinese Tui Na massage that helps the muscles relax a little bit. It's also part diagnostic for me so that I can feel what's happening. So it's usually very enjoyable for the client, and it's the beginning of the treatment as well. Because Bree is obviously very well conditioned and her muscles are well defined, I'm able to really use the palpation of my fingers to feel where she might have any knots or extra tension. Because we're doing this as a recovery treatment, we're really going to hit all the major motor points in her body. And you'll see as I come in and do the needling, we're looking for the muscles to actually have like a twitch response, and you can see them jumping and releasing. So we'll get to that in just a minute.
Through acupuncture, I've learned that I really enjoy trigger release. Now, when the needle goes in, you don't necessarily feel anything at all. I'm also not personally afraid of needles, but once my acupuncturist finds that point that is triggering.
So it was releasing. You could see a little bit on the surface, but on a deeper level, it was doing there were some large releases happening there. Yeah. There. That was very big.
I can feel how the muscle kind of spasms and releases a lot of that tension that was just holding it ever so tight. So to me, it feels like trigger release and acupuncture are helping me a lot on my journey to getting stronger and building the most muscle mass I could possibly build. So normally after we engage in upper body trap, she would go over my lower back and glute medius areas. Now my glute medius has been on and off hurting. I can't say lately it's been hurting because I've been very consistent with stretching, and I've been very consistent with my acupuncture and my chiropractor sessions. But when I began my wellness journey, it most definitely was in a lot of pain. So I find a great sense of relief when she goes over my glute medius. And as I've spoken to her about that, a lot of people nowadays tend to suffer from a glute that's kind of weak, and they tend to mistake that pain from the glute as lower back pain or lower back tightness. Guys, I can't stress it enough. You have to strengthen your glutes. After that, normally she would start working on my upper back area, on my traps. I tend to hold a lot of tension in my traps and my upper back.
Did you see that pull there? Yeah. Let's see if we can get the front of the shoulder capsule to...
On top of having an injured trap. It is no longer injured, but I did injure it a lot several years ago after my first competition. And I found then that trigger release helps dramatically with releasing tension from different muscles and areas that have had nagging pains for years. After going over my upper back, lower back, glute medius, sometimes calves, depending on how much I've spent on my feet, she would engage in cupping.
With you, we're just going to come down.
Now, cupping is something that I wasn't familiar with before starting acupuncture either, but it seems to be an ancient Chinese technique that basically uses cups to suck on that upper layer of the skin and kind of like detach it. For me, I get crazy marks from it, but it's basically helping me feel even a greater sense of relief, a greater sense of recovery. It helps a lot with all those tight muscles and releasing them. Again, the tighter the muscle is, the harder it is going to be for you to train it properly, to feel that mind to muscle connection, and for it to actually grow properly. So Cupping tends to promote that sense of relaxation, blood flow. It does feel ever so good. With this, we're done for today's recovery session, and I'm feeling a little bit woozy and dizzy and super relaxed. But if you must walk away from this video with one message, that is take your recovery seriously, whether you're a professional athlete, a recreational lifter, or even if you don't exercise at all, what's truly important is that you do dedicate some time to yourself and make sure that that body is functioning properly. Go see professionals that you can trust. And if you want to get in touch with me, links are in the description box below.